Americans.
Because this is a war. It's a fight. It's a battle.
We was like brothers.
A $14 million bounty on his head. And everyone in the city wants a piece of it. I say the odds are about even.
John Wick, excommunicado in effect in 3,
2,
1.
This means Billy!
What is happening?
You're the only person I know that knows anything about this Cape Crusader stuff.
AM to the PM, PM to the AM.
You have super strength!
Just
You're like a bad guy, right?
Gentlemen! You have bullet immunity!
I'm bulletproof.
This Organized Chaos podcast is brought to you by listeners like you. Thank you. You know what? I'm going to record this time. So I hit the record button. Unlike last time, where the only segment I have recorded is the segment that YouTube decided to save. Last week was weird. So, like, you might notice the podcast last week is, like, the 15 minutes at the end. And there was some weird, like, tornado activity going on earlier in the day. So I think that might have played a part in it. But, like, we streamed, like, 45 minutes, but the stream was wonky. And then suddenly it just went down. Like, it was weird. Discord went down. The stream went down, but my internet connection, like, skyrocketed. Like, all of a sudden it was, like, super fast. And I was just like, what the fuck is going on?
You
So
see,
I got everything
and on
back
my
online,
end,
and then the first 45 minutes are gone.
see, now I've gone back and I've rewatched the live stream, like later that night, and what I saw, it looked like I dropped out, but from my end, what it looked like was you kind of froze into one thing, and you cut out almost mid-phrase.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, I kind of heard, like, everything that you had said, but then it came right back into where we connected right immediately.
Yeah.
So, like, it's almost kind of like I like, you know, what was like a few moments for me was seconds for you. So it was kind of like the quantum realm.
Ooh, yeah.
In
No,
a
it was
way,
all over
but,
the
like,
place.
But I didn't get to see some monstrosity of a face.
Yeah, no, it was weird. Like,
I feel cheated.
Like, I was trying to get the stream back up. I saw it was going like, like the internet was going super fast, but for some reason I couldn't get off the freeze frame of me, and I couldn't, like, it was like, what the fuck is happening? Nothing is making sense.
None of it.
But I guess, if you guys are interested, what did we cover last week? We covered Cocaine Bear. Cocaine Bear.
Yeah.
I would say overall my thoughts were it's not as much fun as I hoped, but was a lot of fun overall.
I strongly disagree. I feel that it was just the right level of camp and like just goofiness that everything that it should have been. Like, I mean, I wasn't expecting anything like, you know, award winning by any means.
Well, I mean, I don't know if that's strongly disagree. It just sounds like it was a bit more what you were expecting. And I think
it was exactly what I expected.
Did I have higher standards for it? I don't know. It was fun. It was fun.
It was called Cocaine Bear. I mean, to be honest, the fact that David Lee Roth didn't come out in the first 5 minutes of it, I already knew, like, okay, we're going this route. Gotcha. Gotcha.
I won't object to David Lee Roth appearing out of nowhere.
Or, you know, I mean, like, Steven Tyler, but I don't think cocaine was really his thing. It was just, you know, heroin and minors. That was his thing.
You want to know whose thing was cocaine?
Barry's.
Phil Collins.
Not surprised.
Yeah,
Not surprised at all. Eric Clapton. He has a famous T-shirt that says "No snow, no show."
Yeah, he's I think he might have a song called that.
Well, he has a song called "Cocaine," but which didn't hear that in the movie.
Huh? Yeah. What's up with that? Well, it might be because they don't want to give. It might be because they don't want to give Eric Clapton money because he is a dick. Musical
he kind of is
genius, but a dick.
Yeah, like he's laid down some great guitar tracks.
God, like
he's had some very decisive hot takes over the years.
Yeah, like he's got some songs I absolutely love, but fuck.
Yeah.
Every once in a while he comes out with a hot take and I'm like, fuck, dude, are you serious?
I mean, one of my favorite formations of a supergroup that is like one of those like once in a lifetime sort of groups is Blind Faith.
Mm-hmm.
And like I love that album. I think it's like, and I'm a huge Winwood fan too, but I still think that's my favorite thing with Winwood that like, he's probably ever done. And a lot of it is just the chemistry between all the musicians. Well, the three main guys really. The bass player was the studio musician. Like I can't recall his name off the top of my head, but he was so much more than just that. Like he contributed so much, but like. When people went to see him, they were there to see Steve Winwood, Eric Clapton, and Ginger Baker.
Well, yeah.
I mean...
They are names. People have heard
They are names, yeah. But, yeah, Clapton loved the powder. He loved to do some skiing.
Well, you know who else did? That bear.
That bear, yeah. He ate a whole 70 pounds of coke, as I recall the story I read about it.
Mm-hmm.
And the actual bear is on display in the woods in a wilderness, like a ranger station in Tennessee.
Mm-hmm.
You can get your photo taken with the actual bear that just ate 70 pounds of cocaine and had an overdose.
Yeah,
has one foot after ingesting 70 pounds of cocaine.
The bear in the movie has a much happier ending and a much funnier ending. And Ray Liotta was great in that movie. Ray Liotta was the true villain in that movie, and he was great.
The kid's eating the coke off the pocket knife in the beginning was hilarious.
Oh, yeah. Let's see. And then we covered the first half of Mandalorian Season 2. That is we'll definitely get more into that when we wrap up that season. But I would say that's a solid beginning for that season, but wasn't quite as good as I thought the beginning of Season 1. But
no, this didn't have to do a lot of world building. It was definitely more of like, exploring the universe as we know, but we're meeting new characters within it.
Yeah.
That's cool. And we're kind of getting more of an insight to Mando's backstory by meeting people that he's known or some who he has crossed paths with. And we also meet Timothy Olyphant in this.
Yeah, Timothy Olyphant pops up. And
yeah,
like,
Mickey.
I wasn't sure what to think of him when he first popped up in Boba Fett's armor. But, like, towards the end, it's like, okay, I'm on board. He's a cool guy.
Right. Yeah.
And then you also meet Katie Sackhoff and her, like, group of Mandalorians, and you find out that Mando is part of a ultra-zealous religious sect, and it's like, oh, that actually kind of makes sense. That
makes sense.
Like, they take off the helmet in front of him, he's like, you're not Mandalorians, and they're like, oh, you're old school, aren't you? Yeah, no, we gave up on that one. That one's just weird. Oh, are you still there? Did I disconnect?
Yeah, I am. I'm just trying to...
Oh, so OBS...
checking on the actual stream itself.
OBS just disconnected from the internet. Okay, we are reconnecting. I'm glad I'm recording.
Yeah, I'm just checking on the stream itself.
Mm-hmm. Okay, we should be going back up.
We're being vigilant about it this week.
Yeah. No, we're like I'm like on top of it because I have up on my phone. I have this circle here.
Yeah, I got a window open, but I also have two other tabs open.
It's like OBS is saying right now there's no internet connection, and it's like, no, I'm talking to you. That's not possible.
Yeah.
That's not how the internet works.
I can close. I'll close that Children of the Corn tab.
Well, it's not that your internet's not going to connect. Yeah, if your internet's come through to me, that's not going to affect it. I'm really starting to think YouTube does not like streaming from small channels.
Probably. Well, we're recording it anyways. We could just keep rolling.
I will re-upload it later.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. So what else do we talk about? Oh yeah. Well, there's a little bit of Creed 2 in what was recorded. That being said, overall, Creed 2 was something I overall enjoyed quite a bit.
Fucking yeah. Definitely a great addition to its predecessor. Creed and Creed 2 are amazing additions to the Rocky iconography, or canon, I guess. But and definitely is strong. Both of those stand up enough to. I'm trying not to get too much into my thoughts of Creed 3 and talk about these two in past tense. So this is a little difficult for me for reasons why we'll get into later. But these two, I really feel that they are definite bookends to stories that were started.
Yeah.
But definitely great legacy bookends.
Yeah.
Just how, like, with 2, we're still seeing, like, I guess, afterward of, how Ivan has been dealing with or Ivan dealt with, or what he had to deal with since after losing to Rocky and having to go in Russia. And how his family got kicked to the Ukraine. And, they were just shunned from Russia. And now, like, his son was doing so good that he's building up. But, even, like, I felt in that one, like, he kind of realized that he's doing this all for his dad.
Yeah.
He doesn't care. He just is doing it for his dad. Yeah.
Yeah. No, and it's total spoilers, but, like, the when his dad throws in the towel, like, you get the feels in that moment. It's like, shit. Yeah.
Absolutely.
It's just, that is such... Creed 2 is, like, such a well-done movie, and I like, every time I go back into it, I'm always impressed how they take the goofiest as shit Rocky movie. That movie is so off the hinges goofy, but I kind of love it, too, Rocky 4. They take that goofy fucking movie and the goofy villain from that movie, and they make a serious, dramatic story around that villain, and it works. It works so well.
They make a very grounded sequel. Like, it's so much more than just the boxing match. Yeah, like that's like it talks about like family and like histories and secrets and loss, like coping. Like it's great. Really great storytelling.
Yes.
Excuse me.
Okay, I think we're ready for the news.
Let's move into the news.
First one is Tom Sizemore. 61 years old. Fucking kind of a legend. Like he is a legend. I was just pulling up some of his stuff, and like in the late 90s, like mid to late 90s, it was he had True Romance in 93, and then Natural Born Killers, Strange Days, Heat, Saving Private Ryan, which is probably why I best know him from at this point. Yeah. Enemy of the State. Like, Jesus. Oh, I forgot about Red Planet. Yeah, he was totally in Red Planet. God, I haven't seen Black Hawk Down in a while. Big Trouble, I haven't seen in a while. Yeah, no. Oh, God, Dreamcatcher.
He was also in...
Dreamcatcher. Dreamcatcher was bad.
Yeah, he was in Dreamcatcher. He was in Dreamcatcher. Yes, he was. He was also in Pauly Shore is Dead.
Yeah. I have not seen Pauly Shore is Dead.
Ooh, we should add that to the list.
Yeah. We could. But yeah.
Absolutely.
Fucking great actor. He had like an aneurysm, and then they had to eventually pull the plug.
Well, yeah, his family decided to like keep him on life support. Or just pretty much move him into hospice care. And it just kind of he just kind of passed away slowly. They just kind of let him be in the best care so he could do that.
Here, I'm going to go ahead and just stop the stream because I think it's just slowing us down at this point. And it's not sending a signal, and I don't know why.
All right.
But we are recording. We'll just do this the old-fashioned way.
Okay, yeah.
We'll do it previously recorded. It doesn't have the same ring.
Yeah, we can't really do the Bill O'Reilly thing.
Yeah.
Can't be like, fuck it, we'll do it live.
We'll do it previously recorded. But yeah, I'm trying to think. If I were to pick a Tom Sizemore performance, I might go with Strange Days, simply because it's one that people don't talk about as much. And he was a great villain in that one. If you had to pick one, what would you go with?
Yeah, I gotta go with Saving Private Ryan.
Yeah, it is the classic, yeah. I mean...
Yeah, I really gotta go with that one.
It's like I said, that's the one. Like if you bring up Tom Sizemore, my brain goes to Saving Private Ryan, even though that's not.
It goes to that. It goes to his monologue.
Yeah.
For me. I just think of his monologue immediately.
He's awesome, and he will be missed. Only 61 years old. The other story I thought would be interesting to talk about, and it leads into our first movie. Sylvester Stallone, not in Creed 3. I was certain he would have some sort of cameo or something in this. They would just like reduce his role, but give him a cameo. Maybe he's just on a phone call or something. But no, that's kind of what I was expecting. He was absolutely not in this one at all. I think he has one or two name drops, but that's it. And I don't even think they actually give a reason for why he's not there. Now, if you watch Creed 2, the reason I would assume is because he's actually spending time with his family, which is something he should be doing.
Yeah.
But yeah. Sylvester Stallone's nowhere to be seen. Apparently, what was going on is the rights. He doesn't own the rights, and he did not like the direction the story was going in. And so yeah, he just kind of got forced out, which I don't like him getting forced out, but at the same time, we'll get into it when we get into Creed 3. I don't know what his huge objections to the story were either.
I think from what the interview that I read was that he kind of had he didn't like the direction that the story was going to go, and he didn't feel it fit where the last few that he had helped craft were going.
Yeah, well, I know he said he said something like he didn't like how it was darker tonally.
Which it was.
Yeah, no, it was. That's actually one of the things I like about it. I will say, I think to a degree it was missed, and we'll get more into detail here, but like, he's a solid filmmaker, and Michael B. Jordan, I think, does a good job, but you can kind of tell it's a freshman effort too.
Yeah.
And I think having somebody else
there's a lot of shots
might have, help advise them. Yeah.
There's a lot of shots in there that you could, like you said, you could tell are like a freshman effort, and that's nothing like slander.
It's a solid freshman effort. Solid.
It is a solid effort, but there's just subtle things that were in there that I kind of really questioned why.
Mm-hmm.
But that's again, we will get into that when we start talking about it.
So I mean, here's the other thing about Sylvester Stallone I know, and it's not in the article. I know he's working with Richard Meyer, who is a Comicsgate guy, who is an absolute piece of shit for his, what is that? That's an Expendables comic book. He's working with Critical Drinker, who's going to do a Colonel Trout prequel comic book. So I don't like the people Sylvester Stallone's working with. And I hate saying that because I like Sylvester Stallone.
He's actually working with those blowhards?
Yeah. Well, I don't know if he's working with them or just giving them the rights to his stuff. But, either way, I don't like it.
They probably paid play, man.
I would hope. I'm hoping.
They've probably never had any direct contact with Sly.
You see, I hope. But I don't know.
It'd be like if we emailed our if we fully fleshed out a full Bond pitch between the two of us, and we sent it off there, it's not like we're gonna get a call from one of the Flemings or the Bricoli's. We'll listen to we'll hear from an assistant of an assistant of an assistant. But well,
I mean, I don't know, but at the same time,
it's disheartening just the same. Yeah.
Yeah, no, these are guys of somewhat prominence for being kind of awful, and he's giving him permission to do stuff with his properties that he doesn't have to. The Organized Chaos Podcast, where everything's working perfectly.
Or we are 0 days without an incident.
Yes. It's brilliant. All right. But yeah, like I said, I don't know, I doubt he really knows who Richard Meyer and Critical Drinker are, but he's giving him permission to work on his stuff, and it's not, I don't like that. Yeah, I don't like.
I don't blame you. I don't blame you.
Yeah, the whole idea of him not liking this story, we'll get into it, but here's there are issues. I will have issues with Creed 3, but I think the story is actually foundationally very solid.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, I agree.
But
Are you going no cam?
I'm still on cam, but I turned off the virtual camera to try to save on resources.
Gotcha. Okay.
All right, but yeah, we're ready for Creed 3.
Yeah, let's get into 3.
All right, Creed 3. So, my overall thoughts on this is that I liked this, but I definitely feel like this is the worst of the Creed movies so far.
Agreed.
Yeah.
I liked it very much. I did, but I still like 1 and 2 better.
Yes. No, I feel
think
like
they are better stories. And it's not that this one was hurting or I didn't like the dark nature of it. Actually, I liked it because just like 1 and 2, it can stand on its own.
Yeah.
As its own. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of it that is great. There's a lot of great elements in it that are great. Like, it also just kind of calls back to the first one, because we saw this event kind of happen in the first one.
Well, yeah.
So,
I mean, we get lots of backstory around Adonis and meeting his friend Damien, who he's a bit older than him, but like, obviously they're out and they're doing things that probably they shouldn't be doing. And I don't even know why I said probably, because they shouldn't be doing the stuff they're doing.
No, they should not.
But they're up to mischief, we'll say. This is when they're teenagers, and they definitely beat the crap out of a guy. And when the police show up, Adonis runs away. And Dame does not, and he gets locked away for 18 years. This is like, so when Dame comes back, Adonis feels obliged to help him, because Dame was a boxer, and he was like, I'm going to be the world champion, and then he lost 18 years of his life. So Adonis feels the need to help him, and I think overall this is a solid story. Like, they set up Dame, and like, as the audience member, he's no good, but you also kind of get Adonis's point of view, where it's like, I feel obliged to help him. And I feel like a lot of the issues I have with this, I hate to say it, because I think it comes down to Michael B. Jordan just being a first-time director. If you look at the Ryan Coogler's job in the first Creed, or Stephen Capel's job with the second Creed, those movies are directed like ridiculously well. Like there are shots that just tell you the story without a single word in those movies. So many.
And that's really one of my biggest complaints about this, was just a lot of how it was shot.
Yeah. Yeah, no, like not so much in the second half. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, not so much in the second half, but there's a lot of choices that they made in the first one, like visually, like camera placement. And it kind of irked me a little. Like, I was sitting there in my chair going, oh.
No, I feel like the first half of this movie feels like medium shot in the movie. Like, it is dominated by medium shots, and it really becomes noticeable, because there are times where it's like, I don't know if you want a medium shot for this. And it's
the one in the bathroom particularly. That one really kind of drove me nuts a little.
Yeah.
Like, you could even have that in one standing position and watch both of them play out the whole scene.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And still have it, and then even and when she goes to exit the bathroom is when you pull that medium shot from behind him looking into the mirror.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's how I would have done it. But then again, I'm a fan of Kubrick. I would have had the one standing shot and and then the actors act out in the frame.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I'm a Kubrick fan, so that's how I would have done that.
There's a billion ways to do it, but I feel, well, that's the thing. Like, when I watch this, I feel like Michael B. Jordan, like, he doesn't have his heart into, like, the dialogue scenes or thinking about how things should be set up for that. But I will say this, he definitely has his heart into the action scenes. Those are incredibly creative how he did those.
I liked at first, when he was fighting Dane at the end, and they went up really close to the two of them when they were kind of tied up, and then they backed out, and Dodger Stadium was empty.
Yeah, and you see most of the fight, and
all
it's just
of that,
them. It's like nuts.
All of that, I was like, yes, this is a choice I like. I'm happy with this one. I didn't like how the first fight looked.
See, I like the first fight.
Like how it looked.
Now, what I like is it didn't really follow up. Like, they do the thing where it's like Creed is able, like, kind of figure out weaknesses and exploit them, and then they don't do anything else with that. And it's like, okay, I guess.
No, not the first fight between him and Adonis.
Oh.
Like, not Dane.
Are you thinking of Dane's
first fight?
Okay.
Really hated how that looked. I
thought that was all right. I mean, that fight was dirty as fuck.
It was dirty, and hate's too harsh. I didn't hate it, no. I really didn't care for it. I think it was mostly just because I might have had the expectation of, man, I bet he's gonna do those long cuts of the fight, like no edits. Like hardly any cuts. And right off the bat, like 5 quick cuts, and it's like, oh. It was a little jarring to me.
Yeah, no. I don't know. Because that's the thing, like, quick cut fight scenes are actually something that you can do, and I think he pulled it, I feel he pulled it off decently. The key with quick cuts...
A little too WWE for me, but that's, yeah.
I will say the key to quick cut fights is that you always have to make sure people are looking at the right spot on your screen for the next cut. So, like, if you have, like, an object that you want people to be looking at in one cut and you're cutting to another one, you better make sure you want them looking at that spot when you cut to the next shot. Because otherwise, if you have people's eyes going over the place, that is what makes it jarring. But yeah, the other option is just do long shots, which is what Ryan Coogler, who did the first movie, he loves his long shots, and those look great too. Steven Spielberg's also one that loves his long shots.
He does. He really
and
does.
I'm not gonna lie, long shots are pretty awesome.
Yeah.
But
I mean, but there's directors who can also pull off the quick edit too and use
George
it
Miller.
Also to not only like Miller's good. Miller's not the one I was going to use, but Miller wasn't the example I was going to use. Edgar Wright.
Yeah, Edgar Wright.
But I was going to say Edgar Wright. But what he does, and there's other directors that are really great with this. He can also use like something as simple as a pan for something to push the story along, or even so comedic effect, or even something as simple as lighting or underlighting or overlighting something for a great effect to push the story along, or for again comedic effect, which was what I feel Edgar Wright is great at.
Yeah, Edgar Wright is unique. It doesn't really have anything to do with Creed 3, but man, I love Edgar Wright.
Well, cameras, and that's what we were on.
But yeah, the overall story here about like this guy who's obviously bad news. I will also say there's another creative choice in here that I didn't like, because there's the point where, spoilers, Creed's mother, or adopted mother, it's essentially his mother, she raised him.
Mother.
Felicia Rashad, she dies.
Yeah.
And I think they do a good job giving you that punch, although a couple of the cuts went a little bit too fast and didn't quite get to land quite as hard as it could have.
Yeah.
But after she dies, and after that funeral, there's this pretty long exposition dump between Adonis and Bianca, where you essentially learn all of Dame's backstory, him and Dame's backstory. And I really felt like that would have been better handled if we like learned it throughout. Like, I think it would have actually been, because it was actually something I assumed, so it would have made sense to explain very early on that, like, Dame went to prison because Adonis got away. And I thought that would have been something much better to introduce earlier in the movie to explain why he feels obliged to help him. Because he kind of figures something like that, but like, yeah. We don't know until very late into the movie.
I think if we got the full cut of the flashback scene, like when they were sitting down at the diner, but I'm with you. It's something I kind of figured how it happened. Like he took the fall for him or something.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, I kind of felt that was a interesting choice to have that be told. Now, as far as Creed's mother dying, the whole time I thought it was going to be Rocky that dies that gives him the motivation to go back there and beat his ass.
Yeah.
But when his mom died, I go, oh, Rocky's not in this.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh, okay.
Well, I guess Rocky come back in the next one. Hopefully, Sylvester Stallone. Like, I like Sylvester Stallone, so I'd love him to come back. I was disappointed he didn't have a cameo. Although, at the same time, I also, like, they gave him a good out at the end of Creed 2. He's out spending time with his family. So I get not having him back. And they brought back almost every other character from the Creed movies in this one. They're, like, all there.
They did.
I think it's, like, only Sylvester Stallone and Dolph Lundgren don't return. And that's, like, it.
Yeah, I was surprised to see Victor there.
Yeah, Victor Drago returns. Ricky
It was
Conlon
cool though,
returns.
and it was also really cool to see them being chummy with each other.
Yeah,
in the ring. I enjoyed that. I was like, that's cool. That's cool that they're like having fun.
Yeah, absolutely.
But he's also there to help him get better. That's respect.
Yeah, no, it shows a degree of not just professionalism, but just like being an adult. Just like, hey, we have this history, like, but you know what? We're gonna evolve past this.
I'm very happy that they didn't go like the end of Jedi route.
The end of Jedi route?
Yeah, the end of Return of the Jedi, how the ghosts show up at the end and it would have been like Apollo standing there.
That would have been funny though. But yeah, no, that would not fit this tone of this movie at all. Yeah,
no, it would not at all. Yeah,
no, just overall, I think this is a good movie. I really like at the end, obviously the Dame and Adonis are not thrilled with each other, but at the end they kind of have they kind of reconcile a bit.
Yeah.
And I like that. Overall, this is a good one. I think, so far, I think the Creed movies are getting worse, a little bit worse with every entry, but they're not bad yet.
They haven't quite gotten to Rocky 5 or Happy Birthday, Paulie yet.
Well, no, we haven't got, like, I would actually say, I think the first Rocky is better than the first Creed. A little bit, but a little bit better. Now, I would say the second Rocky, I think, is a little bit better than the second Creed. Now, I would actually say, I think this Creed 3 is better than the third Rocky.
Yeah, this one didn't have Thunder Lips, so...
Yeah. Yeah, and
ultimately.
And that's the interesting thing. Like, I guess that one, I don't know if that was Sylvester Stallone's direction, because, yeah, the third one in the Rocky franchise definitely went a bit goofier and lighter. And, this one went darker. And I kind of like having Creed have his own little standalone movie.
I do too. I did like the darker tone of this one as well.
Yeah.
But I also kind of felt like the nefarious reveal, I guess.
Yeah.
Of Dane.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of thought was just like a little too comic booky.
Yes. I think. What we're seeing is that it feels like evidence of a first-time director, and I don't want to bash Michael B. Jordan too much because this is a good effort from a first-time director. Like, as far as a first outing, this is good. And it's a good movie. It's overall a good movie. So, that's a win in his book. I want to see a sophomore effort now.
I still like 2 better. But that's I still like 2 better, but that's just me.
Absolutely. I am in 100% agreement. But yeah, Creed 3, worth checking out. If you like the first 2, definitely check out this one.
Yeah, it is a great continuation of the story. Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Let's see. Ready for John Wick? Yeah.
John Wick 3.
Yes. John Wick 3. John Wick.
Yes, I am.
John Wick 3. Holy sweet good God. Everything is going to try to kill him in this one. Everything.
This one was just so much better than 2.
You see, I prefer 2, but man, this is manic.
You were right about like the story and like the action kind of being like, the action right here and the story being like this.
Yeah.
And the action being like that. The second one's kind of more like about even. They go up and down. Third one, though, story stays about there. The action's just through the roof. Like, that is from really, the start.
That is really what this one has. Like the story here is really meh. It's just, assassins trying to kill John Wick and that's it. But man, the action here is Yeah, no, this is definitely the best action of the
I
three
mean,
movies so far, in my
I'm a
opinion.
little disappointed that the shaved head lady,
Yes,
the
what was
lady,
her
the
name?
assassin, the assassin who
The
was like trying to
adjudicator?
like, yeah. I'm surprised, like, really nothing happened, like, no action scene. We got nothing with her other than her just giving monologues. I thought that was a little weak. I kind of wanted to see
Well,
at least her raise some hell or
I mean, I
something.
feel like they're kind of leaving her for the next one. That's the thing, like, I am
Or
still
just to
on
be
board.
fodder for the opening credits.
Yeah, I'm still on board for more John Wick movies, but I am concerned because, like I said, this story is just kind of all over the place, and it is definitely just flat out excuses for action scenes at this point. But also to its credit,
Well,
there is fucking good action scenes. Just holy shit.
but in all reality, though, like, how much longer can they continue off the main thread of this?
I don't know. Yeah, no,
I mean, this is
it is
like
a
the
thread
well,
that's
2 to
getting thinner and
3.
thinner.
Like, I kind of thought the 1 to 2 was thin.
Mm-hmm.
The brother of the Russian guy? Like, I mean, I'm sorry. I would at least think one Russian has the opinion of, what did my nephew do?
Mm-hmm.
Who he did that to who?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And he did what to my brother?
Mm-hmm.
Hey, John.
Mm-hmm.
We're cool.
Mm-hmm.
My brother's an idiot. But no, he's gonna kill him. And I went, all right, let's see where this goes. And it ended with, John killing that other assassin in the Continental, which,
Yeah.
okay. This is cool. I'm excited for 3. Let's get into 3, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know how this one ended, though. It's... they kind of did the same thing as the ending to 2.
Yeah. Right.
But
Well, that's the thing.
I'm here for it still, yeah.
I mean, when 2 ended, I was like, okay, that makes sense. They're going to do a trilogy. And then, like, I watch this one, and it's like, Jesus Christ, this is great action. And then it does the same thing at the end. It's like, oh, how many of these are going to be? Because, like, I don't want these to start sucking. And so far, they got 3 solid movies.
Is this the one prediction that The Simpsons almost got right? Instead of Schwarzenegger doing these, it's like, Keanu Reeves, like McBain.
Yeah. Oh, my God. John Wick, 87.
Wheel him around in a wheelchair.
Yeah. The Baba Yaga.
He's telling nursery rhyme. He's telling, like, nightmares to children.
No, it's... Yeah, this is... Like I said, this is one I like watching it earlier today, because I just saw it earlier today. Like, I was just remembering how just absolutely manic this one is. Because it's like, you just start watching it, and all of a sudden it's like John Wick in a fight for his life. And then immediately following, he gets injured, and he gets a little bit of medical attention, then boom, in a fight for his life. And then boom, in a fight for his life. And it's like...
Yeah.
They're good action scenes, but, like, I think it's kind of creative how it does that, because it's like you're getting exhausted by the action, but then you're thinking about the fact that, yeah, this is a kind of what John's going through right now. Like, he's just like, fuck,
yeah,
are you serious again? Are you, fuck. Just, nurse of assassins, great. Of course there are. But, yeah, I really just absolutely love the action scenes. The adjudicator was definitely a bitch.
Yeah.
Now
like, I kind of was just like, well, the scene with all 3 of them in the same room, I went, John, shoot this bitch in the head. Like, John, will you please just kill her? Like, I'm tired of listening to her. I'm tired of her empty threats.
Mm-hmm. And then the other character, the main assassin she hires. Like, he's awful, but, like, at the same time, like, there's this weird charm to him. Like, he's a complete fucking dick. But he also is a hardcore
fanboyed out.
Yeah, he's a complete John Wick fanboy. Like, you just think he's this, like, bloodthirsty assassin, and then all of a sudden they have this moment where they're just sitting down. And then he's like, I just want to tell you, man, I'm a massive fucking fan. Like, you have not disappointed. This has been awesome. You're doing great, man. It's like, really? And John Wick just has a look on his face. It's like the audience is like, are we serious right now? This is what we're doing? But yeah, I guess the major character introduced here, which I think I saw is coming back, will be Halle Berry's Sophia.
Yeah.
I will say her dogs were fucking awesome.
Yeah. Halle Berry was actually a very nice addition to this movie.
Yeah.
I was very surprised that I was like, oh, cool, Halle Berry's making a cameo.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, no, Halle's sticking around.
No, it's a fairly substantial role. Mm.
Yeah, and well, this was just like right when they first introduced her, and I thought, oh, cool, he's going, oh, cool, Halle's put that character. She's making a cameo.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess I just must have missed the dialogue where, he took her with her.
Mm-hmm.
And then when they're at the castle, I was like, oh, Halle's sticking around. Awesome. Mm-hmm. And then that whole scene played out. I was like, oh, Halle don't fuck around.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, it's like, oh, he shot the dog, and fortunately, the dog had a bulletproof vest, but yeah. That triggered her enough. That triggered. I
mean, I love Braun from Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
Yeah, as soon as that happened, I was like, fuck that, no. Other dog. That's what you call the other dog, a chopper sick balls.
Yeah. Those dogs did seem to sick balls quite a bit, too.
Yeah, they did. That was hilarious.
Damn. She is training them not to fuck around.
Yeah, I may or may not have just every time, like, good boy. Who's a good boy? Good dog.
But yeah, I think, I want these movies to keep on being good. I'm looking forward to the fourth one, but just the story gets thinner and the action gets better, and I know at some point, if they keep on going, there's going to be a point where the story will just be terrible and the action won't be able to sustain it.
It almost seems like this one, it's kind of the next one coming up, from what I can tell from trailers and from where they left off. Because I remember I saw a full long, I guess the Red Band trailer for 4 right after we watched 2. And actually I saw it as a trailer, as a commercial on Peacock while watching 2.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, cool. Whatever. Yeah, so I think that he's going after the ultimate head figure guy.
Yeah.
Not the dude that he saw in 3. That dude's boss from what I'm
I would assume so. The dude above the table or whatever, I don't know.
Yeah. The guy who who takes more than fingers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But yeah. Good movie.
Yeah, good movie. Good movie. Yeah.
If you're looking for cool action scenes, I don't know if you're going to get much better than this.
Yeah, I can't think of any.
Mm-hmm. But let's see what. Oh yeah, Shazam. Right for Shazam.
Yeah, Shazam.
Yeah. This is fun.
This one was, yeah.
This was probably the first DCEU movie that I watched that I was just like, all right, awesome. That was pretty much solid from beginning to end. Good job, guys.
Yeah, this one was very good, and it kind of proved that, I kind of thought, okay, you guys can, this is something that could actually hang with a Marvel movie in, general audience appeal, which I kind of feel has always been DC's kind of Achilles heel. Mm-hmm. I guess they rely too much on their audience being familiar with the canon as opposed to the audience being unfamiliar with it, but explaining it all to them. While there's you could say that they did that with the Batman, but at this point, do we really need to see Bruce Wayne's parents die again?
Yeah.
I think it's kind of common knowledge that they die when he was a kid.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's seeing Uncle Ben die again. It's we get it. We know the origin. We know it. It's
iconic, it's iconic at this point.
Yeah, it's one of those things where it's if you have a super creative way to introduce it, go ahead. But other than that, just leave it be. We know.
And this one, it got into the lore of Shazam right off the bat.
Yeah,
told you what it is, what to do. It's what to the parameters of how the powers in the Great One. Mm-hmm. Okay, cool. Understood that. We meet the villain right off the bat. Mm-hmm. Meet the antagonist right off the bat. Mm-hmm. We understand what we're dealing with, and then we start meeting the character. Then we meet Billy Batson. Mm-hmm. And we just go from there. Meet the whole family. Yeah, this just this was a very well executed story. Even from I don't even know much about the character Shazam. Yeah, but I still feel like I know just well enough just from that.
Yeah, no, this does a great job of introducing him. And one of the really solid things about this movie is that, like, the DCEU, it was kind of an issue. It's kind of the issue with the Snyderverse, really. So you get, like, the Man of Steel, which is, I think, an almost good Superman movie. I think that was close to being, like,
I agree.
A classic Superman movie, but they kind of, like, fucked it up. But, like, part of the problem is it's, like, it is a dark and gritty Superman. So, and then you carry it over and you have a dark and gritty Batman, and now Batman has to be even darker and grittier than Superman, and it's like, ugh, this isn't great. And then Wonder Woman was decent, but even that one had, it's definitely a darker movie with a darker edge. I'll definitely say that. And then this one, what I like about this is that the villain here definitely has a dark edge, but, like, the hero is just, like, tonally just perfectly what the hero should be. They aren't trying to add a dark edge to Shazam here. It's a teenage kid who gets superpowers and thinks they're cool, and they treat it exactly like that.
The only thing dark really is more just with Billy and his, like, mother.
Yeah, which, God, that is sad.
That is sad. Yeah, it really is. But that tonally, that's, I think, like, the saddest thing, and that maybe just, like, at first getting used to his new arrangement, like, you know, living with that family, which he ends up, like, loving all of them. So. Yeah.
Well, I mean, that's a great, like, theme to the movie about how, you know, the family, you know, your family is who accepts you. Your family is the people who love you, not the people who are necessarily biologically related to you. Because, like, the villain is raised by his biological family, and they're assholes to him. They're terrible to him.
Yeah, like, and then, all the time.
Yeah,
for
and then
no reason.
And then Billy just has a foster family who are wonderful to him. It's you know, they're showing a different dynamic that, like, you know, just being a biological parent doesn't really mean shit.
And something else that I really liked about this movie too was typically in movies, you know, we see foster parents as mean, abusive, or just like shitty. These are parents that genuinely loved all of those kids. Yeah. And was there for them and cared for them. And honestly, it was kind of like a nice breath of fresh air to see that actually depicted on screen. Yeah. Yeah. Like an actual caring foster parents, or even ones that are attentive. There's some that are unattentive in most cases.
Yeah, I mean, like I said here, the villains are the biological parents.
Yeah.
Which is, you know, that's not normal, but, you know, it's nice. It's a nice change of pace. And like I said, I love the contrast between Billy and Dr. Savannah.
Yeah.
Whatever. Like, because, like, you know, Billy is like a light, you know, carefree teenager just trying to find his mom and kind of being a dick to his foster family in the process. And the doctor is a psycho killer who just wants his powers and will do anything for him.
Yeah.
And, yeah. It kind of requires Billy to grow up kind of quickly. And the movie does a really good job of showing all this. And, like, it works. From beginning to end, it works. It's the first, like I said, it's the first DCEU movie I came out of the theater and said, that was good. That, like, really knocked out of the park. Like, I like the original Wonder Woman, but, like, this one, like, the original Wonder Woman, even coming out of the theater, I was like, that was good, but that ending, ugh. And this one, like, I didn't even have that ending moment. The end, you know, the ending works. The ending.
Oh, yeah, the ending to that was a little woof.
Yeah.
It was a little woof.
Yeah, for sure. But, yeah, this is a good job. I think, overall, the performances were excellent. Even though I feel like a lot of the foster kids don't get that much screen time, they get, like, a little bit at least. And you get to know at least a couple of them. Obviously, Freddie, you know quite a bit. And then probably after that be, like, Mary and Darla. And then the other two are definitely there, but they definitely are a little bit sidelined. But
I kind of have a feeling that, like, in this next one, we're going to get to see all of them, like, acting together.
Yeah, no, I imagine we do. Yeah. It definitely seems like what they're going to.
Which I kind of really can't wait to see Billy and Freddie both working together too, because I could say like the two kid actors have like a natural great comedic chemistry together. Like they both work very well together, and and I kind of want to see that again, but even with the adult actors. Well, even the adult Shazam and the kid Freddy had a great like rapport between the two of them.
Yeah, no, that's the thing. Like, Zachary Levi and the kid who played Freddy had a great chemistry, and I am interested to see the adult version, see if they have the same chemistry as well. It seemed like they did, like a little bit.
Freddy. Midway through watching Shazam earlier, it kind of remembered like, oh, that's right, he was in It.
Was he? That seems familiar.
He was in the remake of It.
Yeah,
the one with the country act.
Yes,
saw the leper.
Yes, yeah, he was good there too.
Hey, he was great in that.
Yeah,
he was Eddie.
That's it.
Eddie. Yeah.
I haven't seen part 1 in a while, but part 1 was really good. Part 2 I have issues with, but I remember enjoying it overall.
All right.
Yeah,
it was all right.
Yeah, it worked as an ending. It worked. It could have gone a lot worse. Could have gone.
Yeah, I mean, we know how it could have gone.
Yeah, we've seen.
I'm a little sad that we didn't get the Prince Albert. I'm a little sad that we didn't get the Prince Albert in the can, and then the waha. That's really what I feel the It remake was missing. It was missing essentially just Tim Curry.
Yeah,
being Tim Curry in the library.
Well, Tim
just
Curry's just a legend.
Well,
anything is better with Tim Curry. This is just fact.
I heard the greatest Tim Curry story I ever heard was from this video of a con, and it was Bruce Campbell, and he was talking about their time when they worked on Congo together.
Mm-hmm.
And like honestly, this is like the greatest sentence ever, and just the fact that it came from Bruce Campbell, I feel, is just even better. It was like, so there I was with Tim Curry on top of a volcano drinking champagne, and he was telling me about how Rocky Horror Picture Show single-handedly saved several small independent theaters across America. I mean, really, the beginning of that story is like sitting on top of a volcano with Tim Curry drinking champagne. Yes.
Yeah.
Every part of that just sounds like just, oh my God, that's awesome.
Yeah,
it's just very, very cool.
Yeah.
But also, I knew that about Rocky Horror, but I guess Bruce hadn't. That's how he found out about it. Tim Curry told him.
Nice.
On top of a volcano.
Yeah.
Because they were in the movie Congo together.
Yeah.
Which is
Bruce Campbell.
The reason why.
Bruce Campbell's just in the beginning shortly, isn't he? Or
yeah, he is. He is. He's just in the he's in the beginning, yeah. And I mean, I think they also had him play dead too. So in the end, when they find the dead body, that's still Bruce there.
No.
They just tell him to lay still.
Mm-hmm. It might have been a thing where it's like, dude, I don't want to come back and play the dead body. You get to meet Tim Curry. Okay, I'll do it. Okay.
No. That was the first day of filming. They did all of his scenes later.
Yeah.
It's Bruce, man.
Yeah. But yeah. Shazam's awesome. It's totally worth checking out.
Shazam is awesome.
The sequel. Yeah. The sequel looks good. So I like the box office receipts for these movies don't like the first one didn't light it up, but got good word of mouth. No. And the second one looks like it's gonna be a very soft opening.
Well, this one if I recall, it came out in December of 2019. April?
Yeah, it's actually on the poster. It's April 4th. It came out a couple weeks after. Was it after or before Captain Marvel? It was in the same time frame. I think it was a couple weeks after Captain Marvel.
Two Captain Marvels were in the box office at the same time. Yeah. Or Mr. Marvel, right?
No, the Shazam when he was first grade was Captain Marvel.
He was called Captain Marvel, yeah.
It was before Marvel Comics even existed.
Yeah,
it was timely then.
It was timely then, yeah.
but yeah, I know the second one, the box office, the projections don't look great. And I'll be blunt, I think it's because we have quite a few noteworthy movies coming out back to back to back, and I think they're eating themselves.
Well, I think that's a theory. I have another one And I think it's might just be because of like James Gunn's announcement.
That actually, I think that probably plays into it as well significantly, because there's a question of whether or not Shazam will stay in there. According to Zachary Levi, he is sticking around. But yeah, it's all up in the air at this point, especially if this movie does not have a good box office. I could see Warner Bros. Being like, okay, let's just shelve this.
Yeah, I think that's really what it's going to rely on. But I know that there's not a lot of people who are getting excited about this either.
Mm-hmm.
So it also kind of concerns me a bit. But that also could mean it could just be a sleeper hit. But it concerns me because, like, maybe, Warner and DC are suppressing hype on it or anything. Not just because it may suck or be bad, but maybe just because they're not wanting people to get their hopes up for anything else.
Yeah.
Because we know it's not going to happen. We already know what's on the docket with James Gunn, so I don't know. It concerns me because this one I really feel was like an actual hit for DC.
Yeah. It was actually a solid all-around movie.
I still think shelving this would be a serious mistake on their part and Warner Brothers. But it would also be a serious... I mean, I have some opinions about them moving forward with The Flash. So I think a lot of my it comes from that.
I know word is apparently Flash is really good, and god damn it, that trailer was awesome. But
that trailer did look really good, and it's kind of... It's horrible. But, like, I mean... It ain't cool what Ezra pulled.
No.
It's not cool at all.
No, what they did was not cool at all. Yeah.
And if I can't, I don't want to say it was, I know it's not a publicity thing. It's probably just a mental break or just like, like a strung out sort of thing. Or just the deviant behavior is just deviant behavior.
No, I don't know. We don't know the full story, and there's a decent chance we will never know the full story.
We won't, yeah.
Yeah, they definitely did some shit. Not cool. So, yeah, we will have to see. Because I do imagine that the big plan for that movie is just to reset everything that they're going to reset. Which, I mean, honestly, Flashpoint does allow them the opportunity to do that.
It does. It does. And that's kind of with the story arc and with DC characters, Flashpoint does give that exact chance just to literally hit the reset button on everything.
Yeah. No, Flashpoint is handy for that.
Yeah. I don't know. But I feel like a lot of the lower or less hype or not hype that we're seeing for the new Shazam is coming from that. So if anything, they'll probably do what they have did because everyone was so excited for Batgirl to come out.
Yeah.
And that can.
No, yeah. The Batgirl, like, okay, they want to release Flash and just say it's the last one with Ezra Miller, okay. But, like, shelving Batgirl kind of annoys the shit out of me because it's like, listen, am I Batgirl's biggest fan? No, but am I interested? Absolutely, yes. Jesus.
I was very excited to see what they were going to do with that.
Yeah, I mean, at first I was like, okay, they're doing a Batgirl. Then it's like, okay, Brendan Fraser's the villain. Michael Keaton will return as Batman 89. It'll be in that universe. I'm like, oh. Fuck yeah, let's see it. Oh, yeah.
Brendan Fraser as a villain?
Yeah.
I mean, how dare you, Warner?
Yeah. And then
you did that, just because you took that away, you owe us a Mummy movie with Rachel Weisz.
Yeah, get Rachel Weisz back because that last one wasn't good.
Jonathan.
Jonathan was in the last one, wasn't he? Yeah, he was.
Yeah, he was. Yeah. He was. But still, like the three of them back. You owe us a new Mummy movie
for sure.
Rick's retired. And he's just so fed up with all this shit.
But yeah. But yeah, I think Shazam, it hits all the points it needs to hit. I think it's a very good movie. It's the first solid one from the DCEU, and it's probably going to get rebooted here in a few weeks.
Probably.
But you know what? I'm excited to see the second one. It'll be in theaters in a couple weeks. I will be going there to check it out.
Yeah, I will be as well.
Mm-hmm.
I am excited for that one too.
But let's see. Anything you want to say about Shazam before we do closing?
No. Like, I just echo a lot that you said. Like, the family points throughout the movie were great. I already talked about how great it was to see actually caring foster parents in the movie. The performances by the villain were great.
Yeah, Mark Strong is great.
He is good. He is good. The accent was a little iffy at times, but you know that's
he's doing
cool.
the cheesy villain accent. It works.
He is, but it worked. It worked for him, and you know he sold it beautifully.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen him sell it with his natural speaking voice, and it's terrifying.
Yeah.
I know he's a great actor.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I enjoyed this all around. I'm excited for the second one. Like my concerns for the future of DC.
Mm-hmm. No, like I'll be blunt.
yeah.
I think overall the future of DC looks decent. I just don't like some of the stuff they're going to have to do to get there. Because say what you will about the Snyderverse. Because I do think it's important to move past the Snyderverse. Because holy shit, people won't shut up about it.
Do I agree
it's
that
not all bad? It's not all.
Well, do I agree with James Gunn in saying that, you know, we've seen Batman and Superman, we know their stories, we're not going to, we don't need to see them again? Mm-hmm. Yes and no. I would like to see more of Batman explored, but I largely agree with it. When I say that, I would like to see more of like the Bat family on the screen. Yes, definitely. Like I would like to have a Dick Grayson Nightwing.
Yeah,
movie.
I want a Nightwing movie, absolutely.
Like Chris O'Donnell playing Nightwing.
I don't know about that, but yeah, no, I would.
I mean, if he can just be like, you know, a little grittier, but under James's direction, like he's gonna fuck some shit up. Chris O'Donnell.
I don't know. I always like the Nightwing character, so I'd definitely be on board for a Nightwing movie.
I do too.
Although
I just want a Nightwing movie.
I actually would like to see, we'll see what they do, because I think the first Batman movie is going to have Damian as Robin. But I don't know. I also feel like there's a missed opportunity, because I'd love to see the storyline where Dick Grayson decides to break away and become Nightwing as well. But yeah, we will see what they come up with. But yeah, I love Nightwing.
Maybe with the Damian Wayne, that might be a good way to bring Nightwing in. Mm-hmm. Like they're out on patrol one night and he's out there showing them, and then Nightwing shows up and he's just like, "Good to see you, Dick." Batman hears him approaching because he's Batman.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. We'll see where it goes. I won't really be set in my opinion until I see Swamp Thing.
Yeah. But yeah, but next week, Scream 6. We covered, if you're interested in seeing our thoughts on the other 5 Scream movies, we covered them last year. It's all in the podcast.
We have.
It's right there.
Yeah, they are. You can go through the back catalog.
Overall, I think my overall feelings are that I enjoy them all, but 3 is the worst one.
Yeah, well, you've heard the talks and what Kevin Williams' original idea for 3 was?
I've heard some ideas behind it. I know there's supposed to be 2 killers as normal.
There's supposed to be, the lady who was playing Sydney was supposed to be the other killer.
Yeah.
And it was still going to be Roman. Yeah. Mm-hmm. But just she's also another killer in it. But also, the one of the original plots the original idea Kevin had was that Stu was alive from prison, controlling and pulling all the strings.
Yeah.
Which I know that theory has been bounced around so much.
I'm not gonna lie, I've gotten a little sick of it.
Me too, but here's the weird thing I think about it. It holds some water.
Yeah, no, it as far as bringing characters back, that's they're bringing back Kirby in this one. So if you can bring back Kirby,
you could have brought back Kirby in the second in 5, and I wouldn't have batted an eye. I wouldn't have even thought twice about it. Keen-eyed fans saw that little YouTube video when Huey was watching videos on YouTube about the Backstab series where there was an interview with, Woodsboro survivor Kirby Reed.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And there was another thing of a theory video, is Stu Macher still alive? Which I think that is also maybe the long history of the filmmakers trolling the fans.
Yeah,
With the
fans. I think there's a little bit of
because I know that too. The script leaked out before it was while they were shooting. Or after it had wrapped, so they had to all go back and reshoot a new ending.
Ooh.
Yeah. Which Callie was the killer. Callie and Mickey were the killers in that one. So Mrs. Loomis was the addition. But I don't know.
Two worked a lot better though. Yeah.
Huh? Yeah.
Two was overall solid. Yeah.
Two is a great sequel.
Yeah.
It is. It's well, hey, since we're going to talk about it next week, how about real quickly we just give our rankings of them?
Ooh, a ranking. Okay. I could probably come up with that fairly quickly. You want to do worst to best?
Yeah, worst to best.
Okay, so number 5 seed for me is definitely Scream 3.
Scream 3?
Are you going with 3 as well, I assume?
Yeah, I will go with 3 as well. There was a lot of it I liked.
Movie. I love Parker Posey in it, but...
Yeah, Parker Posey is just such a bitch, and I love whenever she's just such a bitch. I love her. Yeah.
The killer doesn't make any sense in that one, and yeah.
No, Sydney had the same reaction to it as I did.
Yeah.
Huh?
The fuck?
Who the fuck are you? Who the fuck are you?
Let's see. Number 4 seed. I might go with the more recent one. I might go Scream 5 for the 4 seed.
Yeah, that's I'm with you on that one. I enjoyed that, and it definitely is a torch passing.
I definitely think it's a solid step up from 3 too. But yeah,
yes, and it is a definite upgrade from 4.
Yeah, it's a classic revival, and they even bring it up like that. It's a soft reboot revival, and it works.
Yeah.
I think Dewey has the biggest role in that movie. I think his death is really well done, honestly. It does suck to lose him, but yeah, I think they do a good job with it.
Well, I mean, even before he walked in, I even said, I have a feeling Dewey's gonna die.
Yeah.
I just have a feeling his number's up, and I don't. Yeah, I had a feeling going in, a bad feeling we're losing one of them, and I kind of have that same feeling with this one. We might. I don't know. Gail's ticket might get punched.
I was about ready to say, I think Gail's the only one returning with this one, because I don't like the fact that they decide not to pay Nev Campbell. Because I don't know. If they didn't have a big role for her and decide to cut it, then I get it. But I don't know. If they had a decent role and didn't want to pay her, fuck you guys. Pay her. You're making money.
I mean, they definitely... I don't know. She said she felt she was underutilized in 6 or 5.
In 5. To a degree, yeah.
I kind of agree. I very much agree.
I mean, for someone who was essentially the main character in the first 4, I feel like in 5, she was probably the lesser of the 3 returning. Right?
Yeah. Yeah. But we'll see where they go with this. We'll see where they go with it.
Let me think. So, number 3 seed. What would be number 3 seed?
4.
I'm actually going with 2.
Okay.
But I will say, I think 1, 2, and 4 are all really fucking good movies.
They are.
I just really like. 4 was one I went back into it not really with high expectations, and I was really impressed how well it handled stuff. So
yeah, I went in with very low expectations.
Yeah,
but was very satisfied with it overall.
And
the one thing that I did appreciate that I noticed upon future watchings or rewatchings was that it was filmed in a very similar way as the first 3. They didn't use digital cameras for that.
Yeah. Well,
it had a similar look to it, which I really appreciated that touch. And also it's Wes's last film.
Mm-hmm.
And so that one kind of holds a special place to me because it was the last film he ever worked on.
For me, 2 kind of ends up in this spot. Even though I think this one and 4 and 1 are really good, but I put 2 here. Yeah. I feel like they kind of jumped the gun with Randy's death. I feel like they had more stuff to do with him, but they just decided, fuck it, let's do the wild card one. And yeah, there's I don't know, there's some creative stuff done with this one. Yeah, it's really tight between these three. Like I'm thinking back on stuff going, oh, did I like that? And I'm looking back on, yeah, I did like that. Yeah. So I want to stress, I'm 2's in the 3 seed, but like, fuck, it's good. And then so the 2 seed,
your number 2 seed,
that's gonna be 4 for me.
4.
Yeah,
4 is your number 2 pick.
Yeah.
Okay.
What's yours?
2 is mine.
2. Okay. Oh, gee, I wonder what's in
Yeah,
the 1 seed. But yeah.
Yeah. I mean, for both of us, I wonder what's in the 1 seed.
Yeah, no.
Obviously, we picked the same one for 1.
Yeah, for 4, I thought 4 was super creative. Like, it takes the meta angle kind of to the next level, but still keeps the tension up. I love I think the beginning to 4 is kind of great. How it's just so many movies within a movie.
Yeah, I love that. I really love that about 4 too.
Yeah.
I enjoy that so much because, again, it's, Wes and Kevin messing with the audience.
Yeah. And, I just kind of dig 4. And I thought Kirby was a great addition to the franchise.
Fun fact to that, actually, the original, there was supposed to be a scene of Dewey at the house of the crime scene, and it was supposed to be way more violent than what we saw in the final cut.
Oh, wow.
Like, one of them was going to be hanging from a chandelier. And, like a big reveal, just like 4. Like, holy crap. But then I think about it, is how the hell did Rory Corkin throw that girl? Like, she weighed more than him.
Yeah. Yeah, Charlie was not a muscle-bound guy.
Yeah, no. I mean, we could talk killers after we watch the new one.
Mm-hmm. But
do our killer list next week.
So I think our number 1 seed is the first one, and that one's classic. This sets the stage.
I mean, I compare it to with the slasher ones. You have your big dogs in this. Freddy, Michael, Jason. Leprechaun, Chucky, Leatherface, Pinhead, Hellraiser, Candyman, all of the first installments of all of those movies are just strong entries on their own, is what make them as iconic as they are. But that first one, man, that opening scene is still just one of the most iconic things in horror.
Yeah.
Every bit of it is just it's almost so iconic within the genre now that it's kind of almost like a trope. They made a trope while making fun of them.
Yeah, no, that's one of those things. When you deal with horror comedies, what you usually deal with are movies that are a bit essentially comedies with horror elements, like Shaun of the Dead. I would definitely call a horror comedy. That's a comedy of horror.
Or Idle Hands.
Yeah.
Or Idle Hands. Yeah.
But the exceptions would be something like the first Scream, or totally different tonally, but Evil Dead 2. Movies that are definitely more horror, but have comedy elements.
Have some comedy element. Yeah. Well, Evil Dead 2 is a great example of comedy and horror, because it has quite literally both.
Yeah.
It kind of has the John Wick effect to it, where the first one is real heavy on the horror. Yeah. It has a little bit of humor here in between, but just leans really heavy into the horror. The second one is kind of a good mix between the two.
Yeah.
And the third one is just all comedy.
But yeah, what I like about the first Scream movie is definitely solidly a horror movie. But it definitely knows what it is too, and it has fun with it. I think the most obvious example, and it's an easy to miss scene, how it's having fun with it. You have Randy watching Halloween on the couch, and he's going, "No, Jamie, he's right behind you," as he, played by Jamie Kennedy, has the killer right behind him.
Right behind him. Yeah, no, that great bit of just meta humor.
Yeah, just meta.
And they called back to that even in 5, where his niece watching that scene, calling that out. I actually recently rewatched 5, and I noticed something, and this is just kind of more into that, I think, meta humor. Where they kind of leaned into, where in 6 or 5, I feel like when they did the meta stuff, it was really just spot on and really hilarious. This was one, so when Tara is first getting her phone call, just like in Scream, while she's wearing a sweater and playing with knives.
Yeah.
God, first one's so good. She's scrolling through IMDb to see who played on Stab. And in one quick shot of a close-up, you see her scroll past, Mr. McHembry, the principal.
Yeah.
In Stab, he's portrayed by Ron Howard.
That's awesome.
I paused it because I was like, wait, what? Ron Howard. Oh my god, that is hilarious.
Yeah, they're doing Happy Days. They're doing
That is hilarious. Yeah, that's awesome. And also, I really want to see Ron Howard say that line, so we could gut you and hang you up and show you for the desensitized little shits that you are.
Well, some of the funnest stuff in those sequel movies are the random clips we get from Stab of recreating scenes from other Scream movies. It's like, oh my god.
I mean, even with 5, how we got to see more of that movie than we ever have before.
That's right.
The party scene. I was amazed of going oh my god, look at that. They are all dressed and sitting holy crap, that is amazing that they recreated that. That is so cool.
Yeah.
I was impressed with that, with 5. I mean, I really enjoyed 5 a lot, but I mean, it doesn't touch that magic of Wes.
Yeah. Wes is... Well, that's a weird thing now. They...
5 was a beautiful love letter to Wes Craven.
6 has come out so quickly. 2 years ago, there wasn't a Scream movie that wasn't directed by Wes Craven. And now, in a little bit, a third of them aren't going to be directed by him, which is weird.
Yeah.
But
and even in less time, the same percentage of them will be not written by Kevin Williamson.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
We'll just have to see, because Scream 6, it came out.
He's still an executive producer, though.
Yeah.
I mean, he's still an executive producer, though, so that makes me very happy, at least.
Yeah. And
it's he's still being attached to it, so that's good.
When a movie comes out really fast, like a year, it tells me either one of two things. Either they had a really great idea, and they were able to just get it put together. They were all inspired and just got this idea out really quickly, or the studio pushed them to get it out quickly.
Yeah.
One of those is good and one isn't. And I guess we'll find out next week. But yeah.
we will find out next week.
Yeah, I kept on waiting to hear him push it back. And it's nope, it's still happening. It's oh. Okay, guys.
All right, yeah. So we're going to be talking about Scream 6 next week.
Yes. And then,
what else do we got on the docket?
Oh,
we have...
we brought Evil Dead, the first Evil Dead. And then we'll be wrapping up the first season of Last of Us.
Oh, you mean I have to watch the first Evil Dead?
We get to watch the first Evil Dead. I'm pretty sure I have that on Blu-ray and I haven't watched it. Because I'm pretty sure it came with a fancy steelbook with that and Evil Dead 2. And I was just oh, I want Evil Dead 2.
That's such a shame. That's such a shame. Yeah, he'll stand in front of Pazuzu. Oh, that'd be the.
It's been a while. Maybe I'll like it better. I just remember not liking the first one, but
really,
yeah, I love the second one though. The second one's
was it more of a freshman effort directorial thing? Because that was Sam's first.
You see, I haven't.
Well,
yeah, definitely. I haven't seen it for 20 years, so I can't give you clear ideas. I do know I was off put by the tree rape. I know.
Well, that was, yeah, I mean, that's not pleasant at all. And I know that's one thing Sam regrets about this movie. That's the one thing he wishes he could take out. He's yeah.
It's what are we doing? What are we doing?
We were trying to go very scary, and that's something that I just think is unnecessary now.
Yeah, it's goofy funny, but at the same time, it's rape, and it's
yeah,
I don't know what to think about this. I don't know.
Well, I don't know. These Evil Dead 1 and 2, man, I would watch these almost every weekend. So, yeah, I love these movies.
Okay.
So I'm looking forward to these.
It pretty much ended up being a whole all horror theme next week, too. So,
yeah.
Hey. Yeah.
That's
good
cool.
Fun.
Very cool.
But yeah. Next week should be good fun. Everyone have a good one.
Spooky.
The scary week.
I should not do it where it's blocking the light.
books, records, films, these things matter. Call me shallow. It's the fucking truth.